members. I wish everybody a prosperous new year. We have a quorum, so I call to order the meeting of this panel on administration of justice and legal services. We'll proceed to election of chairman for this panel in the 2026 legislation. The 2026 session, the Secretariat has issued a notice to inform members that at the close of the nomination period, only one valid nomination has been received. The member so nominated is Ms. Carmen Kan, who is nominated by me, Priscilla Leung, and seconded by Dr. Junice Ho. As Ms. Carmen Kan is not chair or deputy chair of any panel or committee, nor is she chair or deputy chair of any related government advisory body, according to the rules of procedure and the House rules, I now declare that Ms. Carmen Kan is returned chair of the panel on administration of justice and legal services for the 2026 session. Congratulations, Ms. Kan. Thank you, Professor Leung, and thank you, members, for your support. I will duly fulfill my duty as chair of this panel. We now proceed to election of deputy chair of this panel in the 2026 session. The Secretariat has issued a notice to inform members that at the close of the nomination period, only one valid nomination has been received. The member so nominated is Mr. Holden Chow, who is nominated by me and seconded by Mr. Nick Chan. As Mr. Holden Chow is not chair or deputy chair of any panel or committee, nor is he chair or deputy chair of any related government advisory body, according to the rules of procedure and the House rules, I now declare that Mr. Holden Chow is returned deputy chair of the panel on administration, justice and legal services for the 2026 session. Congratulations, Mr. Chow. Right, on to item 2 of the agenda, schedule of meetings for the 2026 session. The regular meetings of this panel usually take place at 4:30 p.m. Of the fourth Monday of each month. So members, if you agree to adopt the same arrangements, please refer to the proposed schedule of meetings as tabled for the 2026 session. And would members please note that as the fourth Monday of May is a public holiday, the regular meeting in May is rescheduled to 4:30 p.m. on the 26th of May, a Tuesday. And also, following the Christmas holiday in December, for the fourth Monday in December, the regular meeting will be held on the 28th of December, 4:30 p.m. Do members agree? All right. Third item. Items for discussion at the next meeting. To help members better understand the government's policy directions, the Secretary for Justice and the Judicial Administrator will conduct a briefing for members at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the 30th of January, Friday, to brief members on the policy portfolios. The next regular meeting will be held on the 24th of February, 4:30 p.m. The administration has not proposed any item for discussion yet, but I'd like to hear from members your ideas on what items we should discuss for the 2026 session. Members, if you want to speak, please press the request to speak button. 7 members have indicated their wish to speak. How about 2 minutes each? We start with Ms. Maggie Chan. Thank you, Chair. I'd like to make 5 points for members' consideration. First, enhancing support for small to medium-sized law firms and young lawyers in tapping overseas markets and to help them upgrade and transform. Second, law tech, AI, their developments, as well as the regulatory framework. Third point, judicial manpower and also a review on judicial manpower and the system, including the pay of JJOs, establishments, manpower retention. Number 4, against the backdrop of the 15th Five-Year Plan, we should conduct a study on leveraging Hong Kong's advantage as a common law system and a place of international law so that we can give play to our role as an international center for dispute resolution services and complement the strengths with other GBA cities. Finally, on local law reform and updates of legislation, a review should be conducted on the Wills Ordinance and the Enduring Power of Attorney Ordinance, as well as decolonization of our legislation. Next, Deputy Chair, Mr. Nick Chan. Congratulations, Madam Chair. About legal corporates in the legal sector, my question is whether this will be implemented within this year, and also introduction of smart money. Apart from lawyers forming legal corporates, is it possible for some non-lawyers to take part in legal corporates? And also optimization, adaptation of laws. I'd like to receive an update. And also the Legal Practitioners Ordinance. Perhaps we should update the legislation for those with experience. Perhaps we should allow them to carry a senior title to acknowledge the contribution. Now, Ms. Maggie Chan already mentioned the other point, that is more resources should be deployed to help improve the efficiency of the judiciary. In 2018, the government updated the hourly rate, the guidelines on how much a lawyer should charge on an hourly basis. It's time for a revamp. And also the GBA lawyer license scheme will expire soon. I think this involves our mainland counterpart as well. I'd like to help these licensees in Hong Kong. The next point is about law tech. Outcome-related fees, that's the next point. This is for arbitration. Will we allow outcome-related fees for litigation as well? Also, will there be a requirement to ensure that professional matters will only be handled by professionals? Mr. Dennis Leung. I'd like to discuss the mediation or pro bono mediation service on building management matters. We need to enhance its quality to help solve building maintenance issues. And I understand that there is also another pilot scheme on mediation services in the community. Will the scheme be expanded in scope, or will there be more resources allocated? The third point is about judicial manpower. We're short of judges. This leads to a long waiting time for court cases to be heard. This is undesirable, and this is not fair to either the plaintiff or the defendant. And I'd like to learn more about the sentencing guidelines. They tend to be on the low side for the maximum fines in the laws is usually $3,000, $5,000, but the fines ultimately meted out by courts are just a few $100s. There is no deterrence. So will the penalty levels be aligned so as to improve the mechanism? Next, Dr. Junius Ho. Thank you, Chair. I'd like to discuss 4 items within this session or this term. Performance of judges. Should we draw up KPIs? It's not just justice to be done, but seen to be done. Now, one indicator I can think of is the time taken for judges to write up a judgment. Sometimes it takes more than a year. Justice delay is justice done, so it's about the quality of the work of our judges. Another point, I raised that point in the last term. I haven't heard any active response from the Department of Justice, and that is about extending our professional services to the Greater Bay Area, such as witnessing the signing of documents. It's now limited to our jurisdiction, but in fact, the rule can be relaxed to allow lawyers to be witnesses of affirmations and affidavits. Clients don't need to come to Hong Kong if we are allowed to extend the professional services to the Greater Bay Area. We just need to update the Oaths Ordinance or the Affirmations Ordinance or Legal Practitioners Ordinance. We have 13,000 solicitors, but only about 100 of them carry a special status. This is a particularly high threshold for some specific purposes. This also keeps other solicitors away. Also, the threshold for lawyers to become judges, the threshold should be revised. We need to review the work of JOC. And finally, CFA. We should not limit ourselves to just recruiting non-permanent overseas judges for the CFA in Australia, New Zealand, UK. We should also consider other common law jurisdictions. Professor Priscilla Leung. Thank you, Chair. First, the 6 basic courses when it comes to legal education. There should be a review. We need to keep abreast with the times, so the legal practitioners should conduct a review and keep ourselves in line with international developments. Next, about the progress of setting up the headquarters of IOMED in Hong Kong, I'd like the government to give us a progress report. Have we sent out invitations to different jurisdictions? Has any country signed up? I'd like to know when exactly the office will come into operation. And also allowing Hong Kong enterprises to adopt Hong Kong as a seat of arbitration and adopt Hong Kong laws. It's been discussed. About the rule of law as a brand for Hong Kong, we started publicizing that in 2023, but I think that we stopped at just the Greater Bay Area. Will we do more? And also for foreign law related matters, as I understand, the government on a regular basis allow the secondment of our junior civil servants or legal practitioners to overseas organizations. About IOMED, the Secretary for Justice already agreed that at a meeting of the 30th of January, he will attend our meeting and he will mention something about the related order at the policy briefing session. So your comment is noted. Next, Deputy Chair, Mr. Holden Chow.
Thank you, Chair. 2 issues. First, Hong Kong IAC. Now, if you look at the mediation ordinance or arbitration ordinance, only the Hong Kong IA can appoint an arbitrator I've also proposed this in the previous term of LegCo. Now, I've made reference to the international organization. Usually, there would be more than one appointing body of arbitrators. Now, there are more and more eligible arbitration organizations in Hong Kong, so more organizations should be allowed to appoint arbitrators. Now, according to the arbitration ordinance, only the Hong Kong IAC is an eligible organization, but that's back in 1990s. So we should allow more organizations to do that. And second, the use of electronic arbitration or mediation, for example, EBRAM. We should publicize these services more since we have invested so much in it. More members of the public should be educated on using e-mediation services to resolve disputes. So we hope more Hong Kongers can benefit from it. Next, Dr. Thomas So. Thank you. Congratulations to the chair and the deputy chairman. I declare interest. I'm the chairman or president of EBRAM, but I'm not going to say anything about my organization. So the issues I would like to raise are, one, the use of law tech and AI in legal service and dispute resolution. This is a pressing issue. And over the past decade, it is evidence that the efficiency of our judiciary need to be enhanced. The waiting time is too long and there is a huge backlog. And three, expanding these services, tapping new markets and branding of our legal sector. For example, CIPA, GBA lawyers, and also the GBA mediator and arbitrators register published recently. Now, in last year's public policy address, the chief executive said that the government would support more lawyers to expand the reach, and there would be collaboration between the legal sector and other professional sectors. So I hope in the next meeting, there will be time for the government to introduce the work on supporting the legal sector. Now, finally, in 2024, the GBA development plan includes measures bridging the harmonizing the rules for legal matters in the Bay Area. For example, the harmonizing of dispute resolution for commercial matters in the GBA. Next, Mr. Alex Fan. Congratulations to the chair for being elected. I look forward to your work. Now, concerning Hong Kong enterprises opting for Hong Kong law in arbitration and also using Hong Kong as an arbitration seat. Now, this is still a pilot scheme localized in the Bay Area, but that's a central government policy. So we need to obtain the support of the central government to expand the policy to other provinces in China, in the country. Now, in last March, during the Boao Forum, a memorandum of understanding has been signed with the Hainan government. Now, there are some ongoing discussion on deepening legal cooperation between the two governments. So I hope we can follow up on the implementation of the MOU in a meeting. Now, with the establishment of the preparatory office of the International Organization for Mediation, can we obtain support from the central government to establish an equivalent international organization based in Hong Kong with international participation, targeting ASEAN member states. Next, Mr. Wu Yingpeng. Mr. Alex Fan, I declare interest. I am the president of the International Mediation Organization of Hainan. Mr. Wu Yingpeng, thank you, Chair. Congratulations to the Chair and the Deputy Chair. So 2 issues I am concerned with. First, deepening aligning of rules between Hong Kong and other cities in the Bay Area and facilitating better connection and flow of data and capital and so on. Second, we need to study how Hong Kong can better participate in the developments of foreign-related laws. For example, IOMAT and also the anti-sanction regime. We need to better protect the legal rights of judges and government officials being sanctioned by foreign countries. Thank you. I have taken note of all your suggestions. I and the Deputy Chairman will meet the government officials and the Judiciary Administration to discuss our 2026 work plan. And of course, in accordance with the terms of reference of this panel and also member suggestion, we will discuss and consolidate the topics for discussion. And then I will decide the items for discussion as the regular meeting in February, which you will be notified by the Secretariats later on. Now, at last week's House Committee's meeting, the chair of the House Committee has explained to members the principles on establishing subcommittee to study policy issues under the House Committee or panels. It has been agreed that the House Committee will decide on the priority of the subcommittees after receipt of all the proposals made by members. If members would like to establish a subcommittee to study policy issues under this panel concerning specific matters in relation to public interest, please submit the proposal to the Secretariats by 5 p.m. Friday, the 6th of February. The proposal should include the terms of reference, timetable, and work plan of the subcommittee. I'll also bring to your attention that for subcommittee under panel, the membership should not exceed 20, comprising half the members of the panel. Subcommittees are also opened to non-panel members, but the number should not exceed that of panel members. Today, we also have non-panel members present. So any other business from members? There being none, thank you for your attendance. Meeting's adjourned.